All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Travis, and this is the Daily Travesty. And today we are going to be playing in the Midnight Hunt Draft Challenge. Super exciting. These are one of my favorite things to do on Arena. I find that the drafting and the way the matchups work out is pretty fair. And the games are super fun because it's best of three drafting, but it's also pretty competitive and there's some high stakes. So. For those of you who haven't done draft challenges before, it's a pretty steep entry fee. I mean, it's twice as much as a premier draft, but you can win pretty good prizes. If you end up doing really well, you win draft tokens. They don't award you gems so that you can't keep like looping the event. I imagine that's why. But if you do pretty well, you end up getting draft tokens that you can use those to drafts and. It's pretty fun overall. So we are definitely going to jump in here. I ran out of gems a couple weeks ago. I was doing really well. I had like 4,500 gems or something. And then I ended up getting like 130323 in a couple of drafts. And it just crushed my gem collection. So I haven't been drafting in the last couple of weeks, but saved up some gold playing standard actually. I was kind of excited to play with some of the decks from the World Championship. So I've been playing a little bit of Standard in my spare time, grinding for gold, but we finally got enough to do this draft challenge. So happy to jump in here and see what's up today. Hope everyone's having a nice day. It's kind of rainy here in Calgary, so it's a nice day to stay inside and play online games. If it was a little bit nicer out, maybe I'd go outside, but not today. It's not worth it. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. Rare's pretty good. Vanquish the Horde, destroy all creatures, and it costs less for each creature on the battlefield. That works out pretty well, right? Usually you want to play this when your opponent has a bunch of creatures anyway. Let's say they have 3 creatures, it costs 5 mana. Maybe you have one that's expendable, costs even less. I've had this cost 2 sometimes with a bunch of creatures in play, and sometimes it saves you. So I kind of like the look of that. I think this Hound Tamer is really good. I don't really want to start in green if I can help it, but this is a powerful green card for sure. Other things that I see, not really anything super impressive here. I mean, Evolving Wilds is always a solid pick, but we're not going to take it here. I think the picks are between Vanquish the Horde and Hound Tamer. I'm not sure which one's actually better to start with. I haven't had a great deal of success with the green decks, so I'm just going to start with the Sweeper and see if we can draft a control deck. Remember that this is best of 3, so maybe this is a card that you side in or side out depending on what's going on. This is really nice pack for us. So someone took the rare. This Ambitious Farmhand is awesome. We're definitely going to take it here. Just a great 2-drop in white. Guarantees you your 3rd land. And then later on, 3/3 lifelink is actually pretty decent. It doesn't match up super well with Vanquish the Horde because if we want to be triggering Coven, we want lots of creatures in play, and then we don't really want to be playing a Sweeper into that. But we'll definitely take the white card here. This Morbid Opportunist is awesome. I would love to take that, and if it wasn't a decent white card that we were taking out of this pack, like if there was like a decent green card or a decent blue card or something, I would probably take the Morbid Opportunist. But given that we started with a white rare and this is an excellent white 2-drop to take, I'm gonna take this here. I think Opportunist is like probably better, but again, we started with a white card and maybe we'll be able to play with our 2 awesome white cards here. This pack isn't as exciting. There's definitely good stuff here. I think Firmament Sage is okay. Comes down and usually draws you at least a card, and then you can kind of play around it and maybe draw multiple cards. Blessed Defiance is really good in creature-based decks. At least having one of these. I don't really want to take it here, but is something worth noting in the pack. Siege Zombie is really good as a 2-drop, and Black-White is a good archetype. So I think I might just take this 2-drop creature. The Firmament Sage is good, but it's a little bit expensive. And I do like Siege Zombie. So I'm going to take this 2-drop here. Again, we're just figuring out what's open. We're not reading signals too much in the first couple picks. People are just taking the rares and stuff. But we're going to start to see what's open here. And, well, this is kind of interesting. So Falcon Abomination is really, really good just in any deck. 3-mana 2/2 flyer is awesome. The Decayed Zombie token's awesome. But Gavony Trapper is also okay. I think it's nice. It can help with Coven. It taps stuff down, so kind of, you know, helps out later in the game. This card is not as powerful as Falcon Abomination, but we did start with these white cards. I don't know if that's enough of a reason. It's probably not. I mean, we might not even be playing white at all. I think you can pick these up late. I don't know how many you actually want in your deck, so I'm just going to take the best card again and see what's open. We might regret that, but I worry less about the signals I'm sending to the people on my left, and I'm more concerned with the signals I'm getting from the right, and Falcon Abomination is just such a good card. And here, oh, wow, okay. There's a lot of good stuff in this pack. So there's another Falcon Abomination, which is awesome. There is a Lunarch Veteran, which is awesome in any white deck. You love this card in any white deck. White-blue especially, but in white-black, it's totally fine. It gives you 2 things to sacrifice because you can replay it as a disturbed creature. And this Thermal Alchemist is awesome as well in red. And anything with enough spells, red, black, red, blue. I think I'm just going to take the other good blue card. But given that last packet, there were some decent blue-white cards there. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Lunarch Veteran. I'm not really sure. We don't actually know what our colors are yet. And, I mean, it's possible. It's unlikely, but it is possible we're in blue-black. Now we see another Siege Zombie. We see a Startle. These cards are really good in the blue-black deck. And it's possible we don't even play our first 2 picks. We don't play white at all. Not super impressed with either of these white cards. So here, I think we'll just take the Siege Zombie. Maybe I'm supposed to take Startle because I just took 2 blue cards. But Siege Zombie is a really good 2-drop. It would be totally fine in white-black, and it's really good in black-blue. So another Moonrager Slash. Card is fine, but hasn't quite been as impactful as initially I thought it would be. This is kind of a junky pack. I'm just going to take one of the blue cards. Locked in the Cemetery is fine. Maybe it's something we would sideboard in, given that this is best of 3. Geistwave is decent as well. Actually, it's pretty good with the Falcon Abominations because you can bounce them and replay them. Maybe I'll take Geistwave here. The first Geistwave is maybe better than the first Locked in the Cemetery, even though you probably don't want either of them. Oh, okay, interesting. So there's an okay blue card. This card is good in blue-white. No Way Out is totally fine in blue-black. And then there's another Lunarch Veteran, which is really good in the white decks. Still don't know what colors we're in. We're seeing a bit of blue, but these Lunarch Veterans are really good. So I'm going to take that here. We haven't seen a ton of white, except for the Lunarch Veterans. It is possible we're in black-white as well, and for that reason I'm going to take No Way Out here. That's certainly better than this Otherworldly Gaze. I guess you could take this Thraben Exorcism as a sideboard card. I don't think you main deck this in best of 1, but best of 3 it might be okay, but we'll just take the decent black card here. Yeah, I don't know what to take here. Unblinking Observer, not something I really want to play in this kind of deck. So maybe I just take this Duress in case we play against a heavy spells deck or something. I don't think we're going to play this, but it's something we could sideboard in. And here there isn't really anything for us, so we'll just take the blue card. Stormrider Spirit's fine. It's better in a controlling deck where you have like counter spells and a lot of instant speed effects. I people talk about Jack-o'-lantern and splashing off a bit and that kind of stuff. I don't actually know how that works. I haven't seen it and I haven't tried it. But I'll just take the on-color card. And here, there's not really anything for us. We're not going to be in red, so I'll just take this white card and hope to not play it. And yeah, I don't know which of these is better, so. Okay. Well, bit of an interesting start. We got some decent quality white cards, some okay blue, and some okay black. And here we open up a Siphon Insight, which I don't think is like that special. If you're in blue-black, I think you would always play this, but I'm not really looking at taking that yet. Not with cards like Olivia's Midnight Ambush in the pack. This card is just super powerful. Good at any stage in the game. And we do have a couple black cards, although black wasn't super open. Maybe blue-white was more open, but there aren't even any cards in here for a blue-white deck that we would be super happy to play. If there was a really good blue or white card, I would probably lean towards taking that, but because there isn't, I'll take this Midnight Ambush and stay a little bit open still. It's okay if you're a little bit open going into pack 2 as well. Well, Augur of Autumn is really good, but we're obviously not in green. I think we'll just take the foul play here. We just took a good removal spell, Olivia's Midnight Ambush in black, and now we can take a second decent removal spell, foul play in black, and maybe moving on black. Again, I don't know what our second color would be if we're black-white or black-blue. I think our white cards are a little bit better than our blue cards. But Vulcan Abomination is certainly great, so we could go either way. Oh, wow, okay. Wow, look at this. Look at this pack. So there's another Ambitious Farmhand, which is awesome. Talked about that already. There's a Lunarch Veteran, which would be awesome for any deck here. There's another Falcon Abomination. A Larder Zombie is totally fine to play, and there's a Startle. So there's a lot of stuff in this pack for us. I think, given that we picked up some good black cards here, and our white seems better than our blue, I'm going to take Ambitious Farmhand, and maybe we'll end up in white-black. It's possible Lunarch Veteran is just better in white-black than Ambitious Farmhand for the sacrifice effects and gaining life in that. I'm not actually really sure what was correct to take there. And here we'll just take the No Way Out. That's the best black or white card. And it looks like we might be moving out of blue a little bit and playing a more controlling black-white deck. We have the Sweeper. We already have one No Way Out. This gives us a second. Couple good removal spells. So maybe we're trying to be a more controlling black-white deck. Ooh, well, Mysterious Tomes are good in a control deck, but it's not one of the two colors we just talked about. Although, again, we're not guaranteed to be in white. Yeah. Maybe that Ambitious Farmhand pick wasn't good. Maybe we were supposed to take the Falcon Abomination there. I don't really care that much about either of these cards, especially if we're in a more controlling deck. So maybe I just take this Tome. Maybe we're a controlling black-blue deck. Kind of tough to navigate this. If we pick up some counter spells and we have the Stormrider Spirit, that could be okay. Wow, okay. Well, Covetous Castaway is really good. Lunarch Veteran's also really good. We don't necessarily know what colors we're in, though. I think I probably want to play black. Yeah, maybe that Ambitious Farmhand pick was a bit too ambitious, and we were supposed to take the third Falcon Abomination. Yeah, I'm just going to take Covetous Castaway here. Card's really good, although there is a couple of good white cards. Yeah, this is a bit of a back and forth, so sorry that the draft isn't super streamlined. It's possible I made a couple less good picks there. Blessed Defiance is nice, but not in a control deck so much, and I do want to play black, so I'm going to take this Arrogant Outlaw. I don't think it's better than Blessed Defiance, but I don't know if I'm in white. And my white deck would be more controlling anyway, so... Well, Bait Hook Angler is really nice in a lot of different decks. Just as a 2-drop that you can replay. And I'm not sure if I want to take white cards here. It's also a Novice Occultist, but I think the Angler is a bit better. Here, I'll just take the 2-drop that we might end up playing. Not much here for us. So again, I'll just take a blue 2-drop. Okay, well, Larder Zombie's decent. Cathar Commando's fine too, but we're skewing a little bit more blue, so... Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure if we were supposed to go into white there or not. All right, Lear. This card is doing really well, or did really well, or made some waves in Standard. Instants and sorceries have flashback, so we could flashback No Way Out. We could flashback Midnight Ambush, Foul Play. Yeah, I think that's enough reasons. Oh, but there's an Organ Hoarder here too. I think I'd rather just take Organ Hoarder. If the Organ Hoarder wasn't here, I would definitely take Lear and probably be happy to get one of my removal spells back later on. But I think Organ Hoarder comes down a turn earlier, has the same power, and you get a card right away versus maybe getting to flashback a card. So I'm going to take the Organ Hoarder here. Nice. Well, we're seeing a little bit of blue. So happy to be in blue. I think we're going to be blue-black. Malevolent Hermit, just a decent 2-drop. You threaten to counter a non-creature spell. Bait Hook Angler, also good. I don't actually know which of those I would want. I mean, this card's obviously better in a super streamlined deck, but Bait Hook Angler is just good. And it costs a little bit less to bring back. There's also a Flip the Switch that I might be interested in if I'm a more controlling deck, but I'll take the Hermit here. Dual land, not too worried about that, especially with these other really good blue cards in the pack, but who knows, maybe it'll come around. I assume someone will rare draft it, but definitely taking the Organ Hoarder. We see a lot of blue flowing now, which is great. And we're going to be happy to just keep snapping up the good blue cards. I don't think we're in white at this point. We've got enough black and blue cards that we're just going to play blue-black. We've got a decent number of creatures, so maybe we are switching to more of a just attacking aggressive deck, and Startle's good enough in those creature-based decks. Also gets you a zombie, draws a card, so we'll be happy to play a Startle. Ooh, Olivia's Midnight Ambush. Yeah, I'll happily take another one of those over, I guess, Fading Hope. Geist Wave is already a bounce spell. It's not as good as Fading Hope, I think, especially aggressively. Like, you kind of want to use these defensively. And we don't have a... Well, actually, now that we have double Organ Hoarder, we might play one or two of these Geist Waves, because you can bounce this, draw a card, and then replay your Organ Hoarder and draw another card. We're kind of missing the top end from the good blue-black decks. We don't have any of the zombie that comes into play, makes 2 zombie tokens and exiles stuff from their graveyard, but we'll just keep taking good utility cards. Hobbling Zombie, always fine. Can block really well. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I would play Flip the Switch in this deck, especially because we have like the Storm Rider Spirit, Geist Waves, Startle. Like, we have a lot of instant speed stuff. But this is just a good 2-drop. I'm not gonna say no to a good 2-drop that uses zombie tokens really well. I don't think Shady Traveler is a card I want in this deck necessarily. It depends how aggressive we are. If you're a really aggressive version of black-blue, I think you can play this, but I don't think that's gonna end up making the cut for our deck. We definitely don't need the 3rd No Way Out, but there isn't kind of anything else we want here. I guess I could take this Component Collector as a sideboard card in case we really want a 1/4 for some reason. Nothing here. We'll take the Blade Brand again as a sideboard card. Normally, if this was best of 1, I would just start taking, like, I don't know, cards that other people might use, but because it's best of 3, I don't mind taking cards that could help us sideboard. I wonder if Shipwreck Sifter is any good in our deck. We have 1, 2, 3 disturbed creatures. I don't think that's really enough for the Sifters to be good. I guess it always draws, like it always loots, but you really want this to be a 2/3 to get your value. I don't know what else we're really discarding to it that we're happy about, except maybe an extra land. So let's go ahead and take a look at the deck and clean it up. I think we started out trying to do a control build with the white cards, but it kind of moved away from that. We didn't end up with any counter spells, so I don't want to play Stormrider Spirit. I'm not excited about that. Shady Traveler, I'm not excited about. I'll just start taking out the cards that are the least exciting. I think Tome is fine in a slower matchup to gain value over time. I don't know if I want to start it in this deck. This deck actually looks pretty aggressive. So I'll just start taking out the cards that I don't really want to play. See where we end up. Okay. Do we want 2 No Way Outs? Maybe. Card is pretty backbreaking. We have a pretty nice curve of creatures here. Again, we're kind of lacking on the 5-drop spot, but it looks like we might actually be decently aggressive. So I like the Startle, and maybe we'll add some more creatures. The nice thing about having 3 Siege Zombies is if we start the game quickly and we are very aggressive and then our opponent stabilizes, we could just stop attacking and start tapping our creatures to deal damage. Because we are kind of a flood the board creature heavy deck, I might play this Shady Traveler. Being more aggressive means I want things like Tome a little bit less. It's possible. How many zombie tokens do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish. That might be a reason to play Blade Brand if we want to be attacking a lot and we expect our opponents to set up a good defense. We can just keep attacking through them with Blade Brand. I think I might, yeah, try to be a little bit more aggressive. So maybe the Shady Traveler does get in. The Blade Brand. At least one of the Geist Waves. I probably want to use this more often to bounce my own Abomination or Organ Hoarder. But if I have to use it offensively and bounce something of theirs to get the better tempo play, I might end up doing that. I would really like another creature in this deck, but nothing's really standing out as amazing. I guess because we have double ambush and foul play. Ooh, sorry, another thing. The Shady Traveler also helps us turn on ambush. Because we have double ambush, foul play, startle, Geist Wave, these kinds of things, maybe this Stormrider Spirit is just good enough. I really don't want this as my 5-drop. I would rather have the 3/4 that makes 2 2/2s, but I think this might actually be better than the Sifters. We only have 3 things to discard to Sifters. So most of the time we'll just be pitching a land, and then we'll have a 1/2, and that doesn't attack very well, although we did put the Blade Brand in. I might just put the Stormrider Spirit in. I don't think this card is... I would play almost any other decent 3 or 4-drop over this, but we were a little light in that area. So I think we're gonna go with this to start with. It is best of 3. We can switch cards around as necessary. And that is the deck. That looks pretty solid to me, actually. So pretty excited to play this and see how we can do with a more aggressive tilting blue-black deck that can, you know, pump on the brakes eventually and just start tapping out to ping them. So let's go into the matches and see what we can do. Once the server lets us select that. And this looks great to me. We can kill something early and then play an Organ Hoarder on 4. That seems awesome. Can even investigate off of the clue token. I mean, it's a little land heavy, but Organ Hoarder helps us draw into stuff to play. And foul play makes it so that we don't die right off the top, hopefully. Cards like foul play a little bit better when you're on the draw because you can kill their 2-drop right away, but okay. I don't know if I want to use foul play on this right now. We have a little bit of time till that gets out of hand, so I think I'll probably just be the most mana efficient I can be and play my Falcon Abomination. And then next turn we can play Organ Hoarder, or if we really have to, we can play foul play and use the clue token to draw a card. So, okay, well, foul play not great against this 3/2. It's nice that they're playing some werewolves though, because that means our Olivia's Midnight Ambushes are going to be better. I want to save the zombie token. I'm not going to attack with it. I want to save it because we have a bunch of siege zombies. So I think what I'll do here is I'll play the Organ Hoarder, see what we get, and then attack with the bird. The rest go to the graveyard, so we're totally happy to pitch this to the graveyard. So let's grab Hobbling Zombie. And yeah, nice. A little bit extra value. We can even play this next turn, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and attack. And for that reason, I'm actually okay trading off this Organ Hoarder this turn if they attack, because we can shuffle it back into our deck. Hopefully they put this on... okay. Well, foul play is going to be able to get rid of the Contortionist Troop, even though they technically don't have Coven anymore. I don't think I want to let them get too many 1/1 counters. And I still have a decent play where I can go foul play, Hobbling Zombie, and then use Covetous Castaway the turn after to shuffle foul play back in. So let's go ahead and do that. Start with this. The Hobbling Zombie also blocks their Tavern Ruffian really nicely. So I think we're set up to do pretty well against the opponent here. Red-green werewolves. And yeah, happy to trade off everything here. If they attack with everything, I'll block with both. Oh, well, Obsessive Astronomer is quite good. Looks like our opponent has the ability to be very aggressive with their draws. Like if they play this on turn 2, attack with it, they could play a 3-drop right away, and or a 4-drop. So we have this, we have this. I like to play my disturbed creatures early if I can, because sometimes your opponent might exile them. Although red-green isn't really the exiling colors. We also have Stormrider Spirit. We could draw a card off of Clue. I know I'm definitely attacking with Falcon Abomination this turn, so let's start by doing that. And I kind of want to save the Castaway, because eventually our opponent is going to attack us. And we want to block, but I also don't really want their werewolves flipping this turn, so I'm going to play the Castaway. Playing another big flyer also helps us beat our opponent, because they're going to have a shorter clock. Rather than dealing 2 a turn, we're going to deal 5 a turn, and that means if they don't have something good here, they're going to be dead in 3 turns. Hey, Patty Laddie. Good morning. We just started. So we are doing the draft challenge this weekend. We're all in. We have no gems left. We used all our coins. So we're all in on this draft challenge. This is game 1, match 1. Ooh, that's a very aggressive card. Nice. Game 1, match 1. Playing blue-black. Our deck's pretty sweet. But our opponent playing Abandon the Post here for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We could take 10 here. Well, I definitely want to block, and I most likely want to block the one that pumps up their other werewolves versus this astronomer, I think. I mean, they're going to be able to flash us back next turn, so that's pretty rough, actually. Okay. Well, good to know that they have Howl of the Hunt. Something I'm going to write down, and we're actually not looking as good as we were a couple moments ago. So this is a 3 mana +2 flash. All right, well, they're going to play Abandon the Post next turn, make it so these two things can't block, and we take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 if we don't block. So we want multiple things that can block. Stormrider Spirit blocks nothing. Like the Falcon Abomination trades off with this 2/2. So there's no reason to play this, so I'd rather draw a card. So let's go ahead and do that right now. See what we draw. Siege Zombie. That's pretty nice, actually, because now we can play Falcon Abomination, and we can play Siege Zombie, and kind of set up the defense here. And we'll just pass the turn, because they're going to make these two unable to block, and we're going to want to trade off and block with a couple things. So we'll pass the turn here. Wow. Big beating from this. Abandon the Post. I have to remember that one. Yeah, Patty Laddie. I think so too. I think it's it has been tough to figure out. And that's made it fun too. It's definitely fun because there's little intricacies and you're never sure what's best. The gameplay has been really tough. There's just so many decision points. Here, I think we just try and trade off as much as we can. They're hopefully out of Abandon the Posts. So I want to trade for both of their 2 toughness creatures. I think I want to keep the Siege Zombie. Does that make sense? We can be more defensive and still ping in. I think that's better than trading off for Siege Zombie and having a 2 damage attacker, because I don't think I want to attack that much. This is going to be 7. And our other creatures are going to be back online next turn. I mean, they might have a +2/+2 or something here. Like, they floated the green. Okay, +3/+1 first. Oh, trample. So lots of combat tricks from the opponent. Resolve that. And now we can activate this. And we're at 1. Wow. Well, we hope they don't have another trick. We have 3 blockers to their 3 defenders, so we can't attack. Oh, which means this is going to be a 4/4. And this is going to be a 6/5. Well, we can block the 6/5 well. The 4/4 we don't block particularly well. And this is going to flip. So I think we have to main phase Stormrider Spirit here, just so that their werewolves don't flip. And now we go into defensive mode. And this is what I was talking about with the Siege Zombies, is we can still be pinging them for damage, even though we play defensive here. Oh, Patty Laddie. Well, 5-3 is good. I mean, that's nothing to turn your nose up at. Anytime I go 4-3 or better, I'm very happy. This is... I mean, we kind of just have to block everything, right? I think the Hobbling Zombie has to kill their big thing. This has Trample. Huh. So I'm probably multi-blocking this. But, I mean, if they have a trick that gives Trample, it kind of doesn't matter what happens. Kind of a tough spot. I have to block everything, which means something is getting chumped. So... do this, I guess. Hope for the best. I mean, if they have another one of those stolen vitalities, we just die. They have to pick if they want to get rid of the 3-3 or the pinger. I mean, I assume if they have a pump spell, they just slam it here. Yeah. Okay. Tap everything. Ping. Tap everything. Seems like they have a spell in their hand. I wonder if we're just gonna get killed by a removal or a pump spell there. Okay, interesting. Well, we have one blocker for 2 creatures. Nice. Bait hook angler. We love to see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we're not attacking with our zombies because it's just going to get eaten up by the 4-4. Maybe that was a reason to block not this Tavern Ruffian, but block this 4-4 because it's Vigilance. So it's a good attacker and a good defender. Huh. Maybe I should have put the Death Toucher on the Vigilance creature. And now these are going to flip. Oh, and they have a wolf. Okay, well, we lose to the Flash Wolf then. That's okay. This has been a good game. Opponent with a decent deck. Decent Werewolves deck. Okay, well, that was game 1. We can go to sideboarding. We didn't see a ton of removal spells. We saw the Flash +2/+2 enchantment. We saw the Abandon the Post, which really wrecked us. Like, we took like 12 damage or something. And +3/+1 trample or first strike if it's defending. So maybe these bounce spells are a bit better if they're playing a bunch of combat tricks. It's possible that the bounce spells are good for us. The creatures were like 3/2s, 2/2s, 2/5. So maybe the 1/4 actually does block pretty well here. We talked about that during the draft, that we might side this in. I think the Geist Wave is worth thinking about. I don't think Stormrider Spirit's that good on 5 mana, 3/3. Doesn't match up super well, although Flyers is going to be good against them. Flyers is a good way to kill them. We do have a couple Flyers. Shady Traveler's probably not great. Their deck's kind of aggressive. And this just trades off for their cards. So maybe this Component Collector's a bit better. It can also screw with them because it taps them and stuff. Blade Brand's fine. Their creatures are relatively large. Geist Wave. Yeah, Stormrider Spirit could be bad. Making them discard their combat tricks is nice. Maybe this Arrogant Outlaw, something we could take out. If we're trying to be a little bit less aggressive, and just play around their combat tricks and stuff. Like if they play Abandon the Post and then we bounce their creature, that's pretty good. Okay, well, drawing a blue land here is great, and at the very least we could play Siege Zombie, so I'll keep this. It's possible we don't draw blue mana and then it's awful, but I mean, you can't be scared of getting mana screwed because you'll just never play Magic, so. Let's see what we can do here. Werewolves are good, not Master of the Hunt good. I haven't had a really solid werewolf deck. I like the idea of them. I think they're cool. Just don't know how often the good decks come together. So I've been beaten by really good werewolves decks that have the rares in them. The rares are pretty good. Yeah, that's right, Patty Lighty. No Guts, No Glory. I mean, if we draw a blue land, this is a decent hand. Organ Hoarder's good. Component Collector kind of shuts down some of their attacks. Although maybe this isn't that good because they don't have like 1 toughness creatures. Or yeah, it just blocks something. I mean, tapping their stuff is kind of good too. Like if it flips to night, their werewolf gets big, but then we tap their werewolf, so they can't attack with it. I don't know. If anybody watched the Mythic Qualifier sealed event that I played in and streamed, it was a classic daily travesty where someone played this card and I was like, I haven't seen that card be good yet, and then it just absolutely destroyed us. Like the game was slow and they tapped everything and we couldn't get attacks through. Not sure what's going on with the opponent here. If they've gone to get a snack, maybe. So I guess they're just keeping, and we go. I mean, I hope that they're not just delaying the game to be rude. I assume they're not. I assume they stepped away, or I mean, hopefully they didn't disconnect. That's never fun. Super thrilling gameplay footage for all of you. Hope everyone's having a nice day here. Like I said, it's pretty rainy here. It's kind of meh. So happy to be inside playing games, and picked up some cards from a new game that you guys might have heard of called Flesh and Blood. It's a new strategic card game, kind of like Magic, that I've been hearing a lot about. So I picked up couple little intro decks and I played some games the other day. It's actually pretty fun. Might actually make some videos about Flesh and Blood because it wasn't immediately obvious what like a lot of the acronyms were and how it compares to Magic and stuff, and I thought it was actually pretty interesting, so I might share my experience with you guys about that in case you're interested in checking it out. Okay, well, that's unfortunate that they just timed out. I assume we go to sideboarding? Yeah, is it pretty cold where you are, Patty Laddie? Oh. Oh, it just gave us the win there. That's interesting to me. I guess if you time out, it ends the match. Okay, interesting. Bit of a weird one, but hey, I mean, we'll take the quote-unquote win there. And let's take a quick look at the deck we drafted. I'm actually pretty happy with this deck. There's some key pieces missing. I think our power level on our 5-drop slot is lacking. I would rather have had some of the 3/4s that make tokens, but that's fine. We did go a little bit more of an aggressive slant, trying to play this like Shady Traveler, and we have 3 siege zombies. So the idea is if we can attack early and get our opponent's life total down, and if they manage to stabilize, we can just sit back and start to ping them down. So, yeah, win is a win, Patty Laddie, and like, I mean, that stuff happens. I've lost games to disconnecting as well, so it sucks when that happens, but kind of goes around, comes around kind of thing. So let's see what we can do in round 2. Hopefully we get a couple of nice games here for you folks. Awesome. We got both colors. We got 1 drop, a couple 3 drops. This hand looks awesome to me. Definitely going to keep this. And we'll have enough creatures on turn 3 that we can start surveilling with this larder zombie. Because we'll play the Falcon Abomination and make a thing, and then we'll have 3 creatures. I wonder how many times you're supposed to play Startle on turn 2. Like, are we supposed to play Startle turn 2, attack with it, and turn 3 play Arrogant Outlaw to get more life loss, life gain in? I don't think that's right. Especially because Falcon Abomination can probably trigger Arrogant Outlaw enough, just as a flyer. But it's tough to say. Playing the blue-black mirror match here, which does happen quite a bit. Oh, actually, no, this is different. They've got an Interloper, which is a very aggressive card. Because I don't have anything to do, I'm going to play the Startle when they attack us. Just, I can get the zombie into play. Zombie tokens are nice with things like Larder Zombie. We'll get to draw the card off of it. Totally happy to save the 2 life here. Because, like, we're definitely playing Falcon Abomination turn 3, and then we're probably playing Arrogant Outlaw turn 4. So I don't think there's a reason not to play Startle here. And that's kind of okay. I have enough lands to do what I want to do, so I would rather have multiple blues. So I'll get rid of my swamps. That's totally fine. We're going to draw another card off of Startle here, and like I said, Larder Zombie can help us surveil, so if we do run into a case where we need lands or something, we can go find them. Yeah, just as we drew it up. And now we can surveil off Larder Zombie on our turn. So Larder Zombie, also a nice blocker for these zombie tokens. Are we supposed to block Vampire Interloper with Abomination? I think because we have Arrogant Outlaw in hand, I'm not going to do that. Although I guess we could always attack with a zombie token and hope to deal the damage. Kind of depends what they play here. Okay, a 2/3. Well, that definitely stops our Pokin with a token. Pokin with a token. So maybe I'm happy to trade off here. I mean, we have a card, technically a card advantage engine. I don't know how aggressive I want to be this game, so I think we'll probably just block. And we want things to be in our graveyard. Remember, we have this Covetous Castaway, and if we ever get to cast the backside of this, we could bring stuff like Falcon Abomination back. Oh, interesting. So we drew a removal spell there. They didn't want their Interloper to die. We do not want to land. Okay, interesting. So we'll play land here. And I think I'm going to play Shady Traveler. A menace creature here is actually decent, especially if it's a 4/4. And if they have another No Way Out and we discard Covetous Castaway, that's fine. And I don't care that much about Arrogant Outlaw, especially because we're not attacking here. So I'll just play Shady Traveler and pass the turn. Just happy to continue to set up our board and eventually poke in for some damage. Yeah, 2 to us. And surveil. Do I care about this card? I mean, a 3/3 flyer on this board is actually decent. We can't play it this turn, but our werewolf is actually going to flip this turn as well. They might have a midnight ambush, but I'm going to keep the card. I have other stuff to use my mana on, so it's okay that we can't play this right away. And let's go ahead and attack with the 4/4. If this gets in, I'm going to drop Arrogant Outlaw. Do you think they have a counter spell? I mean, they have 2 cards in hand. They didn't play anything. Well, I don't mind if they counter Arrogant Outlaw. If it lands, we get a little bit of a life swing. If it doesn't, they used a counter spell on a 3/2. That's okay with me. Okay, flip the switch. Yeah, that's totally fine. And now we can be a little bit more confident about playing our other cards here. We do have to be careful because like this Scob is dangerous with the zombie tokens. And we are taking 2 a turn from Vampire Interloper, but... Ooh, Jadar. That is a nice one. It doesn't really help them right now because they have multiple things. Like, they kind of have to attack with them, but I'm sure they're actually totally happy to attack here. Because then they get the free zombie token, and taking 3 a turn from zombie tokens is really rough. Like, that might be a reason to not attack with Stalking Predator, just so we have something good to block with. And I don't think we block here. We're going to take a bunch of damage, though. This card is very good. Draw something good. Blade Brand is not what we want because they're not attacking with Scob, right? So I don't want Blade Brand here. Even a land is fine because we can play Stormrider Spirit to block the Vampire Interloper. So we're not attacking with Predator because we want to block their zombie token, and we're not going to play anything because I want to try and ambush their Interloper. So we'll just pass the turn here. Yeah, we're trying to play the long game. Amalgam. Mill 3 cards and can't be blocked. That's going to be pretty good for them. We're going to have a hard time beating this card. Oh, they're milling us? Sure. I'm okay with that. I think in Innistrad, you usually don't want to mill your opponent unless you're about to win off of it. Okay, well, let's see if we can draw something good off of Larder Zombie here. One of the nice things, too, is we can block with our Covetous Castaway as a 1/3 and not trade it off, but chump block with it. And then, yeah, I definitely want that. Do not put it into your graveyard. And then the next turn, play it as a 3/4 flyer. Like, we almost guarantee that we're going to be able to trade this off. So that's kind of nice. We're taking 4 off of this. It is nighttime, so I think we're probably just supposed to kill this. I'm going to wait until they tap to make it unblockable. Or should I just play it now in case they draw a counter spell? I think we probably just do it now. We'll main phase this. And we'll play Covetous Castaway. And we'll go to combat. And I'm attacking with... Like, this is going to block their token. This can block here, yeah. I'm going to get aggressive here. There's no way they double block, so they're going to take 7. Castaway blocks token, and then we have a 3/4 flyer. Next turn, we're threatening lethal. Yeah, I think this is good. Oh, oops. Okay, well, if they don't play anything, then it's fine. Happy to block with Covetous Castaway here. Because that just gets us a 3/4 that shuffles good cards back into our deck, so. It even gives us more options for what we can shuffle back. I mean, we are at 17 cards in deck, so maybe we do have to be worried about the mill, but this is pretty much game, right? We'll just swing in. They have to double block. They take 3. They go down to 4. So this is lethal. Block, block, takes 7. Yeah, this is lethal. Right on. Okay. Well, good to know. Good to know about the amalgam. I don't know if there's anything we really want to side in here. I guess a big defender. Like if they are going to keep attacking us with 3/2 zombie tokens with Jadar. Although they kind of needed 2 cards there, right? They needed both Jadar and Blade Stitch Scab to have that thing. But that is pretty brutal. Oh, they also have Infernal Grasp. Which I don't think they should have used when they did, but it's just me. So maybe Component Collector's good. Like, I think our deck does pretty well in the long game against them. We didn't see any flyers out of them. Blade Brand not seeming great, because the thing that we would want to block and kill is Amalgam, but it gets unblockable anyway. So I don't think Blade Brand is a card I necessarily want. We saw Flip the Switch and Infernal Grasp. I think just a Component Collector, actually. Something with a big toughness. They don't really have flyers, so Arrogant Outlaw is going to get through a decent amount of the time off of Abomination or Stormrider Spirit. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how our deck turned out, actually. Seems pretty good. Do we want this Tome? Just to draw cards? Like, that game went pretty long. Do we want that? Is that better than Geistwave? Given that they didn't have a ton of interaction. Like, we aren't saving our creatures very much. Would I rather just have this? Draw extra cards. Maybe. Especially if we're on the draw. Yeah, Patty Laddie, you can't willy-nilly use removal. I've noticed that too. My natural inclinations are just like to get in there and play my stuff, but this game or this set, you have to be so conservative. Again, same thing. If we draw blue, this is good. So I'm gonna keep this. We have a removal spell we can play and a no way out, which is kind of nice. I found the Tome to be good in really long games for sure, Patty Laddie. Sometimes it's too slow and it like you play it on turn 3 and you just never get to draw the card off of it because you're too busy dying. But if the game's gonna be slower, it's totally fine. These games are not gonna be slower. They have the 2/1 again. Now we just talked about not willy-nilly using removal. I'm gonna pass here. I wonder if we are supposed to use this because right now I don't have anything that can block it. And if this is going to deal 6 or 8 damage to us over the next couple turns, it might be better just to get rid of it. I don't currently have anything that can block it, so I might just get rid of it here. Now we play No Way Out and hope for the best. Hope to hit 2 cards. No lands, no disturb. We would love obviously an island next turn, given that our entire hand is blue. But I would even take the Hobbling Zombie, the 2/2 Death Touch. If we draw Mastermind's Tome, that's gonna feel real bad. Okay, 2 lands. Which I guess is okay, because they can't play their more expensive stuff, I guess, but really open for an island. If we draw island, we go Organ Hoarder. Yeah, this is gonna be so good. If we don't, we might be going to game 3 pretty soon. Necrosynthesis. Okay, that is interesting to me. I played with this card once, and it was really, really good in the black-white deck I had. I don't know if this card's... I mean, you always get to draw a card off of it, and if there's like a lot of tokens... Actually, it was Jadar. So I like Necrosynthesis with Jadar because you get the free death triggers. It's totally worth playing with Jadar. Because I mean, you always get a card out of it, and it can get insanely big with something like Jadar. So I don't know if there's enough things dying naturally that I would play this without something good that synergizes with it, but it's going to be annoying. Obviously, we're not blocking here. And then I wonder if they have the 3-2 or something. No, nothing. Yes! We did it! We got our island. I assume we're just running a card into a counterspell here. But, I mean, there's nothing we can really do about that. We're going to be the most efficient we can and play our 4-drop. I assume Organ Hoarder gets countered. But then we have another one to play next turn. That's totally fine. And now our hand is unlocked to us. Yeah, that's fine. We knew that was coming. And we can attack with the 2-2 here. Because they cannot block. This is going to become a 3-4. So maybe we do want the bounce spell. Like if they're playing Necrosynthesis, we probably want Geist Wave. It just punishes auras so hard. And yeah, maybe Mastermind's Tome isn't the card we want. They are fairly aggressive. If they're playing Interloper into like Necrosynthesis on something, this is probably not a good Tome matchup. So 5 to us, and this becomes a 3-4. Would be nice to draw a second island, actually, so that we could play 2 things, and if they counter one of them, we can still land our other spell. Swamp, not exactly what I was after. I think because they have untapped mana again, we're just pass a turn. And we might double block Stormrider Spirit and Siege Zombie onto Scab. We did see Infernal Grasp, so we don't really want to double block. If they attack, I probably just let the 3 feet through, because I don't want to double block and then they Infernal Grasp one of the creatures and eat the other one. And I mean, yeah, 3 damage a turn is annoying, but hoping eventually we can stabilize with our good hand. And if they want to counterspell Stormrider Spirit, that's fine, because I'll play Organ Hoarder, maybe even draw an island, and then get to play like Bait Hook Angler or Covetous Castaway on our turn, in addition to the Organ Hoarder. Because we just need to empty our hand. Our hand is very good quality cards. We just got stuck on blue mana. Okay, so they thought about it. They have something, right? Oh, Revenge of the Drowned? Sure. And we're not going to keep the Stormrider Spirit. I do not want it on top. I want lands. And I have so many things to play. Okay, not the land we are looking for, but we're going to use Organ Hoarder first. Is that smart? Yeah, I think that's what we have to do. And then we can double block this Scab. Larder Zombie would be good, except that it doesn't block their things well, and we can't play it this turn. So I might just grab an island here. Get rid of the Larder Zombie. And same as before, I think I'm actually going to play Covetous Castaway because I don't mind chumping with this and then getting to replay the 3-4 right away. That actually seems pretty good to me. And then based on this, actually, maybe I'm fine double blocking and chumping. I'm just going to be defensive. We are at 8 life, and I don't want to get too far down. And attacking for 2 with Siege Zombie rather than just pinging for 1 is like, I don't know. Although I guess we could attack for 2 and also ping. But if they play a removal spell or something here, I don't want to die to just, you know, random Infernal Grasp or something. So if they attack with both, I'm going to put Covetous Castaway on the 3/2, and I'll double block the Scab. And if they want to use Infernal Grasp and eat my other thing, that's okay. Because we'll just play... Oh, Eaten Alive. Interesting. Okay. Exile it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, well, now we'll take 3 from Scab and chump block the 3/2. This thing is going to be a problem eventually. Especially when this token dies, it's going to be a 4/5, and that's pretty big. That's pretty tough for us to defend against with our deck. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. For a second, it looked like the zombie token was blocking. I was like, that's impossible. Can't do that. Okay, 2 lands. Well, happy to get rid of 2 lands. Oh, this thing's going to be actually much bigger. 5/6. Yeah, that's crazy huge. We just got to play chump blockers at this point. 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So we can play... we can't play Covetous Castaway and Bait Hook Angler in the same turn. If this is a 4/4, does that matter? We have to chump block, so this is going to be a 6/7. We want to draw cards. We want to draw good cards. I think we have to chump block this turn. I guess we can chump block with Bait Hook Angler. What would we shuffle back in? I guess we're playing against black. We should probably just get the value while we can, right? We are playing against a black deck. And what's going to help us the most here? Ambush could be helpful. Startle and Organ Hoarder. Because they all draw us cards or kill things outright. Pass the turn. And we're going to have to chump block with the Siege Zombie here. This will be a 6/7. So we really need our Death Toucher, or we need Olivia's Midnight Ambush to be big. So we'll probably want to play the Shady Traveler next turn, at the very least, to start the day-night cycle. Get it to night. And that way, if we draw one of our... Or if we draw our Olivia's Midnight Ambush, it'll actually be able to kill that thing. Because I don't think we... The only other thing we have is the Death-Touching Zombie, so... This thing is huge. Okay. 5, 6, 7. We can play 2 things, right? 6. Yeah, we can only play 2 things. So I'm going to play the Shady Traveler because I want to start the day-night cycle. And I'm going to play Bait Hook Angler because it is good at chump blocking. I don't really want to chump block with either of these. And we're going to attack and try and get in there. No reason not to attack with either of these. And try and race a little bit. They're going to hit us back. We're going to chump block, and we're going to deal potentially 5 to them. Replay Bait Hook Angler and have a stream of chump blockers. So I think we do actually try to get aggressive here. We're just going to try and keep up a stream of chump blockers against their gigantic thing here. And it's going to keep growing, but that's fine. Like, the difference between looking at the top 7 cards and the top 8 cards of your library to draw one isn't really that big of a difference, right? Maybe they exile this from our graveyard. No. Okay. Okay. Right on. Right on. We're going to start with Organ Hoarder. As you do. See if we can find an Olivia's. We also have to be careful about them playing something like a Storm Rider Spirit or a different flash card. Alright, removal spell, nope. This is another chump blocker, but we have the Falcon and the Storm Rider Spirit. This helps us draw a card and helps us get aggressive with the zombie. So I'm actually going to grab the Startle here. Going to go to combat. Gotta be careful. Actually, I think I might play the Bait Hook Angler first. Just to see if they try to counter this spell. Because if they go counter spell, removal spell, and I don't have a blocker back, that would be really bad for me. Do I deal 7 to them? They go removal, win. If they had 2 removal spells, would they have played them already? Maybe. At this point, the only way we lose is by them playing multiple things. So I think I might actually smash for 4. Put them down to 6. And then next turn, this is lethal. If they... Well, that would only be 5. Plus this. Yeah, I might hold back the flyer just in case they have 2 things. If they have nothing, we're going to win anyway. And if they do, if they are stocking up on resources, I want to have enough blockers here. Yeah, Patty Laddie. I love these things. Yeah, I just think they're cool, and you know, I paid good money for them, or gold or whatever. And yeah. Okay, there's the Infernal Grasp, sure. Okay. So we still get in for 2, technically, instead of 4. 3, 6, 7. Well, this isn't lethal on its own. Champion of the Perished. Okay. So we do have to chump block. Get in for 3. We have multiple things to block with next turn. Oh, yeah, Patty Lighty. Those, double necrosynthesis. Those black and white full art lands are awesome. I think they're super cool. I would love those. I just, like, to buy them on Arena is really expensive. Like, it's like actual, like, money, like $20 or something. And I don't think that's necessarily worth it. But I love them. I actually got to do a draft in person with some friends a couple weeks ago, and they have the full art lands in the packs, and they're beautiful. Very, very cool. All right, we can play 2 things. We have 7 mana. I think we probably... So we could counter a 5 mana card that they draw. And then we hold up Storm Rider Spirit. Playing Falcon Abomination gives us more things to attack back with. We're definitely chumping with Malevolent Hermit, Organ Hoarder. And we save this just in case. But if they draw a counterspell, that's bad. Maybe we'll just run out everything we can right now. And now we have so much power in play. If they don't have exactly what they need, it's going to be tough for them to attack us here. And Bird plus this 3/4 are lethal next turn. So they have to have something. That's not going to help them. Unless they get a Disturb card, I guess. Yeah, okay, they could draw a couple disturb cards here, or flashback cards, or hit a couple lands. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna help. Like, it's helping them dig. That's good. What they kind of need is one of these things to die so they can draw the card off of it. So, barring anything funky happening, like, what if we kill this and then they draw a really good card off of it? Maybe we're not supposed to block Champion of the Perished. Like, the only, like, based on what I'm seeing, the only way they can win is if this creature dies, they draw some insane instant speed spell. Meat Hook Massacre. That is something to think about. If they draw Meat Hook Massacre, give -2 to everything, all of a sudden this doesn't kill them, they gain life. Oh, my, sorry about that. My cat stepped on my webcam cable, and this webcam cable is super finicky. So, sorry if you can't see me right now. I'm just going to take the 2. I don't want them to draw something insane here. All right, well, there we have it. Awesome. Happy to have a win there. And I'll see if I can get my webcam working again. Like I said, my cat stepped on the USB cable, and this webcam's super finicky. Like, if you jiggle the cable at all, it just shuts the webcam off. I don't know what that has to do with how the circuits work or anything like that, but yeah. Here we are. I guess I'm frozen. You guys get to still look at me. I'm just frozen and not moving. All right, here we are. This is round 3 of the draft challenge. We're definitely going to keep this. This hand looks great, actually. Multiple bits of interaction, couple of 2-drops. Very happy with this hand. And we have both our colors. We've had to keep some risky 3-landers that have been all swamps the last couple games. So happy to have a nice, easy one here. Playing against blue-green flashback, I assume, which is a good deck. I don't know if we're just supposed to kill this and give them a bunch of gas. I don't think so. Maybe we're just supposed to run out our own 1/3. It blocks well. Kind of prevents early damage here. Root Coil Creeper. That is a card that is going to die right now. Because it's going to ramp them to 5, and it's really good with flashback stuff. So let's just not even pretend. Let's just do this and pass the turn. Okay, 1/4. Send up the defense. That's actually good for us because it turns on our midnight ambushes whenever we want. Or not whenever we want, but it's going to help us. Opponent has 2 cards in hand. We have a thing that makes them discard 2. Seems pretty good to me. Even if they have a couple flashback cards, that's... Oh, Splashing Red. Interesting. I wonder what they have in their deck. And there it is. Oh, we have both ambushes. That's awesome. We can't really capitalize it on it right now because we don't have anything to attack with. So I think what I'm going to do is try and draw land off of the clue. And I would want to follow that up with one of these blue cards. So Let's see if we can draw a land here. So good. And the Hermit's probably better. We're not really blocking. I don't mind taking 3 off of this. And I would rather have this effect in play if they end up drawing a really good spell later on. Shadow Beast sightings and storming the festival, probably. Yeah, they have all. I'm sure they have all kinds of stuff in there. Yeah, let's block. Sure. I mean, they could give this +2/+2, but whatever. Opponent not sure what to do with their fight spell? Or something? I don't know what they have. Okay, yeah, duel for dominance, sure. Oh, they actually wanted the okay, they're splashing for Seize the Storm. That makes sense. They wanted the Covetous Castaway back. I wish I had a way to hate out stuff from their graveyard right now, but that doesn't seem to be the case. We'll definitely play this Geist, and I wonder if we should kill their 3/5. They're not playing this. This is a 3/4 that we can also kill. But if I play 2 spells, that actually turns off the Olivias. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Malevolent Hermit. I'm going to smash in for 1. I think we'll keep this because of the Siege Zombie. And they're at 20, so it's not like the extra 2 damage really matters right now. And then I'll pass the turn. After they play Covetous Castaway, we're not going to get that opportunity. Okay. I was going to try and kill this after they play Covetous Castaway so they can't shuffle it back in, but I don't want to take another 3 here. That's fine. Do they shuffle their mountain back in? That would be really funny. Yeah, they shuffled the mountain back in. That's awesome. I hope they don't draw it. And then we might as well use this here. And then the opponent concedes. Okay, right on. Oh, good for us. And they had odd duel for dominance. They might have more of those. They also have these Seize the Storm tokens. So for that reason, I think bringing in the bounce spells is worth it. Oh, they also have a Devious Cover-Up. That's worth noting. Because they could potentially have big creatures, tokens, and stuff. I'm gonna bring in the other Geist Wave. This could be a long game because of their big defensive creatures. So maybe Mysterious Tome is something we consider here. Arrogant Outlaw tends to be bad against these decks, especially against a 1/4. 2/2. 1/3 is whatever. Is there anything that's really bad against a 1/4? Not really. And I don't actually mind Blade Brand here, because we do want to attack into their big defenders. We're going to be on the defense. And Abominations don't get in as well against reach creatures, so maybe Arrogant Outlaw is something that can come out of this deck. So we bring in Geist Wave, get rid of Arrogant Outlaw, and again, try and play a more controlling game. High life, concede, win. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Patty Laddie. I don't think people should concede as much as they do. I think those are just frustration concedes, not actual like sound decision making. This is awesome. Especially on the draw, like, oh no, we're on the, wait, what? Our opponent chose to play second. That's very interesting to me. Very interesting to me. Well, we just drew a grade 3 drop. This hand looks awesome. Sometimes it works out. Not saying that we're gonna like win for sure, but it's just nice we have lands and things to do. Ambush on the creeper seems good, and who knows, maybe they'll frustration concede again. I'll offer the trade. Rage quits. Yeah. Frustration concede is a nice way to say that, maybe, but I just don't want them to ramp anything out. So we lose a little bit because we could have played Falcon Abomination there, but I don't think I'm playing No Way Out on turn 4 anyway. So I mean we're a turn behind. Do I attack? Probably not. I don't know if there's 1-mana tricks, but I don't really want to risk it. And this way we can still ping for 1. Well, they have their red source. That's nice. I don't know if I've ever drafted one of these that I've been able to use. Oh, Shadow Beast Sighting. That's another reason to have bounce spells. I'm glad we brought in that second Geist Wave. I think it's going to be really good against them. Hobbling Zombie to block the 4/4. Leave up Startle. Maybe? We could also play No Way Out. But I think we want them to play a couple more cards from hand first, so let's play the Hobbling Zombie. I'm probably fine trading this off here. Although, we're kind of on the aggressive bend, right? Like, maybe we're just supposed to attack with this. Second Root Coil Creeper, right on. Opponent's deck definitely has some power in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can actually flash this back next turn. That's really good. Do I want to save this zombie? I kill the 4/4. I do have ways to bounce it, but they're gonna get another token. I don't know. If they have a pump spell here, we might be able to use Startle to good effect. Oh, the fight spell. That's right. And they have Coven. Okay, well, this is kind of nice. This is a nice blowout. Oh, man. This person's not having a good day. They definitely shouldn't have conceded there. I mean, they're going to play this next turn. They're going to have a 4/4, a Root Coil Creeper, and we're going to have a bunch of 2/2s. Like, I mean, we would have played No Way Out, and then they definitely would have been unhappy, but I don't think they should have conceded there. But we'll take the win. Happy to take the win here. And that moves us up to 3 wins? Yeah, so much rage quits. I think that moves us up to 3 wins. Right on. Well, we got 2 draft tokens back. So we've paid for our event because we spent 20,000 gold and we got 2 drafts out of it at least. Let's keep running it back. Let's see what we can do with this deck. This deck's sweet, by the way. I'm very happy to have drafted this one. I have had a couple stinkers lately. I was telling you guys that earlier. Like, I was sitting pretty on 4,500 gems, and then 3 drafts in a row. Awful. 1-3, 0-3, 2-3, with just bad decks and weird stuff. And I It's nice to just play some like good old-fashioned blue-black. Well, a single land makes this hand good because we can foul play, investigate, draw another land, removal spell, 2-drop. Our deck is really good though. I don't know, Patty Laddie, what do you think of these hands? Our deck is really good. I don't know if we should keep... we probably shouldn't risk it, right? We probably shouldn't risk it. No! This is so much worse. I should have kept the other one. Oh, no. This is so much worse. Okay, we're going to 5. Okay. Let's, oh, man. Well, at least the Startled draws us a card. And we have... Yeah, we have 2 mana cards. I would rather play Hobbling Zombie than Shady Traveler because Hobbling Zombie is more defensive. And because we have less resources, I will probably have to be more defensive. Oh, there's your forest, Patty Laddie. A turn too late there, Larder Zombie, but that's okay. Better late than never. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, RNGesus wants us to lose a match. Come on, RNGesus. It's not like we've been crushing people. Our first opponent disconnected. Our third opponent was super ragey, rage quitty. Sorry, you shouldn't assume. Maybe they got other stuff going on. But okay, we definitely don't want this to be a 3/3. So we do want to play a spell this turn, and it's gonna be Siege Zombie. No third land there, but we did keep a 5-lander. Oh, so cool. Look at these lands. Now it's nighttime. And we drew a third land. And that's okay, because we can now play this Death Touch creature. Seems good to me. Or would we rather start surveilling? Would I rather play the Death Toucher to block? Or would I rather let the 3 damage through... I mean, if we play that, they might just use Silverbolt anyway. But I'd rather they use Silverbolt on Hobbling Zombie than use it on Larder Zombie because we need something to help us get value because we mulled the 5. So we're kind of behind on resources. Oh, flip the switch? Okay. That's okay. No attacks here. We're definitely not double blocking because if we double block, they'll shoot one of our creatures. So nothing there. And then a Shadow Beast sighting. Okay, well, that might mean that the Geist Waves are worth playing. Pass the turn. If they have a couple things that make tokens. If we triple block this, they shoot one thing. If we triple block here, they shoot one thing and their thing still dies. And we still have the startle. Oops. No, don't do that. So I think we're okay triple blocking here. We need a little bit of luck here. And I mean they can kill Siege Zombie. So trade 3/3 for the 1/3. That's kind of okay. I'm gonna use Larder Zombie right now. Oh, I guess it doesn't die. Oops, that's right. Do I want a 4th land? Yes. Well, we kind of got them to use Silverbolt. That's okay. Geist Wave, nice. That's awesome. We could just get rid of this thing. I'm going to start with Organ Hoarder, though. It blocks the Frenzied Trap Breaker and draws us a good card. And I'm actually going to take the Siege Zombie here because then next turn we could play Siege Zombie plus Geist Wave. And that seems like a good 1-2 punch to me. So we'll do this, and we are happy to pass the turn because we are very much in a defensive state right now. Smash it with everything. Trade. Take 4. Nebelgast Intruder. Okay, that's a good card. Maybe another Geist Wave would be good for us. I don't mind that because we're gonna want to block the Nebelgast Intruder at some point. And we definitely want to do the Geist Wave thing. So let's just do that right now. Pass the turn. Oh, nice. And we played 2 things, so this is a 2-2? That's awesome. Oh, they also have Root Coil Creeper. Nice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we don't have any artifacts in our deck. We're definitely not putting Tome in against these double Liberators. Next turn, they might be able to flash this back. That's interesting. All right, let's Surveil. No, I'm happy to draw that. We can kill the Root Coil Creeper with it. And that prevents these from flipping, and then we can draw a card. So let's just draw a card right away in case it's a land. Not a land, that's fine. Pass the turn. Next turn we have to play Falcon Abomination because otherwise we're gonna die to this. That's fine. Oh, Scob Wrangler, that's a good one. We might have some issues with that. Because they're gonna be tapping our flyer, so yeah, this is gonna be a tough game to win at this point, but we'll see what we can do. That's not gonna do it. We need something to kill the flyer or this Scob Wrangler. And we already have a 2-drop we can play. Okay, well we can double spell this turn, that's kind of nice. And if we can, we want to trade off with the 1-3 or Bait Hook Angler so we have something to block the Intruder. Is there any point to attacking here? Probably not. We are dying a slow death. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. No, we're still good. Maybe I was supposed to Surveil with the 2 tokens plus the Abomination there, but we need some kind of flying support here. Unnatural Growth? Wow. That's so cool. I haven't seen anybody play this card yet. That's awesome. Everything they have gets double. That's awesome. Well, we're pretty good, right? Like, we're definitely losing. see what we can draw here. Put it into our graveyard. Take action. Put it in our graveyard. Take action. Remember, this was the Mall of 5, so the fact that we've stayed in it this long is... Yes! Look at all these lands! We got rid of multiple lands off the top. That's awesome. And then drew land immediately. But we're going to be able to block everything. That's awesome. We're still alive. No, we can't play everything. Oops. We needed 7 mana. We don't have enough here. We could really use... I mean, I'm going to play as if we can win, even though we can't. Oh, this triggers on each turn? That's awesome. Card's insanely good. If you can cast it. How do our opponents cast that? Oh, the Jack-o'-lantern. Ah, okay. Yeah, I think Jack-o'-lantern's actually pretty good in their deck. Helps them cast their tough to cast thing. Okay, well, that was nice. They had a lot of good aggressive 2-drops. This card was insane. We have to remember Intruder, Scab Wrangler. Yeah, opponent's deck is really good. This is something we want to be able to bounce. I don't think we really want to bounce these. I don't know if we really want to bounce any of these either. Can you bounce Unnatural Growth? Yeah, target non-land permanent. Sure, that's good enough for me. What's bad? I guess we're trying to be aggressive, right? The way to play around that deck is to be aggressive. They didn't really have big defenders. Everything was kind of weak, so I don't think Blade Brand is really what we want. I think we just try and be aggressive with our creatures. And not Maul the 5 this time, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, that growth card is super crazy. Unnatural growth. It is unnatural. It's an abomination. It shouldn't exist. Okay, well, 2-drop, 3-drop, both our colors. Awesome. And our Geist Wave, our secret tech against unnatural growth. Although it only delays it for a turn, so... Oh, nice. No Way Out's good, too. This is actually good against Nebelgast Intruder to an extent. So that's kind of nice. And I will offer the trade here. I don't want them to have the Scab Wrangler. Sure, that's fine. We have enough creatures to back it up with. If we draw a land next turn, that's kind of nice. Do you think they have Nebelgast Intruder? And we can use Geist Wave on Falcon Abomination? I probably don't want to attack with that. Well, the Geist Wave did exactly what we thought it would, except then they played the other thing that we wanted it for. That's okay. Kind of stuck on blue mana here. Still 4 cards in hand for the opponent. I think we just want to... Do we want to play the flyer and be mana inefficient, or do we want to play Larder Zombie plus Shady Traveler and start surveilling? Probably that one. We need to find an answer to the 4/4. I think we want to start surveilling, and then because of that, we'll be the most mana efficient and play Traveler. Which might even flip into a 4/4 and block their 4/4. Winterhorn's Blessing. Interesting. Our opponent's deck is very good. Yeah, I think we're going to have a tough time beating them. Especially if they're this aggressive. Because I assume they just recast Winterhorn Blessing next turn. Maybe we can draw another Geist Wave. That would be really good here, actually. Play Siege Zombie plus Geist Wave. Do I want to play Falcon Abomination plus Siege Zombie? I want to play No Way Out plus Siege Zombie, which means that this is actually okay. I'm okay drawing this because we can get rid of 2 cards. I think that's actually okay. Okay, well, we get rid of 2 lands, so they can't cast this as easily. And then play Siege Zombie and pass, I guess. Are we supposed to double block the 4/4? Oh, they'll probably put a counter on it, right? Unless they want the Nebelgast Intruder to be big. Okay. That one we're going to put into our graveyard. We are definitely getting beat down. If we take 8 here, they kill us with this in the air. Although we can block it for a turn. If we block with Siege Zombie, that buys us an extra turn. I think we kind of have to do that. It buys us an extra turn against Nebelgast Intruder. Revenge of the Drowned. Interesting. This card is interesting because if we attack, we could gain life and have a 3/2, which helps double block the 4/4s. But it doesn't. No, I guess they aren't playing this turn. I'm going to, but I also want the Falcon Abomination. Are we chump blocking this turn? I think we're chump blocking with Larder Zombie. No, we're probably chump blocking with Shady Traveler. And then we want to, so we're going to take 4. We're going to be at 3. We wanted to be able to attack, gain 2, go up to 5, take this hit, and double block. So I'm going to decline. I want this on top, and I'm actually going to put that on the bottom. Because having a 2/2 to block with here doesn't actually prevent us from dying. Oops. This one. This has been a really interesting game. Down to 3. Combat. Attack, attack. Because now we'll double block the 4/4. Oh, they drew a land. That's too bad. Oh, that's a good attack from the opponent. This is what we have to do. Interesting choice there for the opponent. Do they want to get rid of Larder Zombie, which is helping us surveil, or do they want to get rid of the bigger thing? That we definitely want to put into our graveyard. Down to 1. And they're going to play a 4/4. And we need to draw something for this. Startle doesn't do it. Olivia's... no. Doesn't do it. Oh, no, because we already played a spell this turn. Oh, man. I wonder if that was a reason to not play Startle on our turn. That was so close. This doesn't... oh, no, it doesn't prevent us from dying. Because if I play this right now, this becomes an 0/1. Yeah. Pass the turn. I wonder, given that, if we should have played... No, I think I still played the Startle there. And this kills us kind of regardless, so... Oh, very close. That was actually a really good draw. It's sad that it wasn't nighttime. Otherwise, that would have helped us stay in the game at least. But hey, really nice deck from the opponent. Unfortunate mulligan to 5 in game 1, but again, that's going to happen. And our opponents sometimes have to mulligan as well, and we like to capitalize on that. So... okay, well, that's our first loss, but we're still 3-1, and we're going to run it back and see if we can get another win here. Patty Laddie, you agree with the Startle on the turn, hey? See if I can get this camera working again. There we go. That should be good. Lands and spells. Looks good to me. And let's go ahead and lead on here. Yeah, I agree with you, Patty Laddie. I think drawing the card there is worthwhile, even if it shuts off some of your answers, like the Libias. Which one of these would I rather have in play? I guess I'd rather attack and trade with this because it gives us a disturb card right away. They could bounce it. That's a weird bounce. Maybe they're stuck on lands. Ooh, Liliana sleeves. I like these anime Liliana sleeves. I mean, debatably not as good as the anime Nissa sleeves, but... And now We have double no way out. I think we just start attacking their hand here, especially if they needed to scry for lands or something. Okay, land and counterspell. So Dissipate and Fading Hope is what we're looking at. 3 blue-green decks in a row. And 4 blue decks in a row. Sluggark. Whenever a land is put into blah, 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 blah. Well, that's a nice target for Geist Wave later on if it ever gets bigger than that. I think we just attack their hand while we can. I mean, it might grow this, right? Yeah. But that's okay. Get rid of some of their stuff. Eccentric Farmer. Oh, wow. This thing's going to be huge. That's really good. And I mean, if we bounce this to their hand, it kind of doesn't really do anything, does it? I think we might just be using Blade Brand to block this before it gets another counter. Yeah. What are we gonna play as a sacrifice? Malevolent Hermit, I guess. You already know about this one. And we're okay if this goes to the graveyard. And we can threaten leaving up the ability on it. So this tramples through. Man, we are getting beat down. We can get wrecked here by a bounce spell, but well, they get to draw a couple cards off of that. Yeah, Sluggark is another Root Coil Creeper. Can we not just have a moment without all these Root Coil Creepers? This is our 3rd blue-green deck in a row. It's crazy. I think we probably have to play this card from our graveyard, right? I mean, they have other ways to mix stuff in and stuff, so at least we can play a nice blocker here. Yeah. Now, we took a beating from that Sluggark. I think because we have the Siege Zombie, we'll keep these back rather than attacking there. They have all the land they need. Death Bonnet Sprout, sure. This thing's going to be annoying eventually, but we can actually play Geist Wave on this as well. It gets rid of the counters. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. No, this is always going to be a 1/1 for a bit. Go to combat. Tapper, Flyer. Makes sense. No attacks, Siege Zombie. And we're on the pinging plan. We're just gonna try and ping them down this game in turn. Yeah, Patty Laddie, the blue-green decks are really good. And there's, oh man, do you think they have 2 or do you think they redrew it? Can I give them a nice, I wonder if they just redrew it. Or if they do have multiples of this. Trample is really bad for our deck. That is an ability we're gonna have troubles with. Well, 3rd Siege Zombie coming in. No attacks here. No card. Oh, wow. That's the combo. Look at this thing. Are we just... The opponent's debating if they attack us. Like, we definitely double block this, right? And then if they do something tricky, we have the Geist Wave up. We have a couple turns. We keep drawing lands. It's not going to be as good, but... We are very, very slowly pinging them down. So we got that going for us. Is there a world where we're supposed to Geist Wave this, replay it, so that we can counter a spell that they might have? Maybe. I think it'd be better to set up a multi-block on Slogurk, and then if they try and do something tricky, we can bounce it. Timberline Guide, sure. I mean, we're definitely not in the driver's seat this game. Are we supposed to trade 3 for 1 here? Just seems bad, right? I don't think we're supposed to take 6. We're not really winning any other way. Seems so bad. Oof. Hopefully we don't draw land here. Okay. Well, we have drawn a lot of lands this game. This was a 2-lander, right? I think we started this game as a 2-lander. Yeah, and then we've drawn all lands. Yeah, tap 2 things, swing with everything. Man, Scott Wrangler's so good. Did we draw any of our removal spells this turn? No. We didn't draw any of our good removal spells this game. What's the point of getting that? Oh, they do have 2 Slogurks. Look at that. Okay, cool. Nice for them. We've obviously lost this game, but I'm just waiting to see if my opponent shows me any other information in the cards. Wow, they're still gonna do nothing. Okay. And another land for us. No attacks. Okay, Patty Laddie, we'll see you later. Thanks for coming to hang out. Hope you have a nice day. 5/5 coming in. I don't know what my opponent's doing. I don't understand why they don't just like kill us or something. Like they should have tapped a bunch and then attacked with everything, right? Well, defend the Colossus or Celestis is a good reason to have Geist Waves in your deck. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why my opponent's doing nothing. Like, they're at 19 health. They should just be beating us down. Do you think they're trying to run out the timer? That's kind of weird, right? I mean, maybe they're going to end up decking themselves. That'd be awesome. Maybe they just have a bunch of counter spells. But I mean, they should be attacking. Like, we don't block all that well. This is a really strange match. But we're gonna try and kill the Slogger here, even though they have Dryad's Revival. It's also going to flip to daytime, and this is going to be as good, so... I guess maybe we're supposed to kill the Scab Wrangler, honestly. Well, I know, Trample's really bad against... or really good against us, so... Counterspell? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Be nice to draw something other than lands, though. I mean, I assume we're gonna lose, but maybe our opponent will just deck themselves here. Especially if they keep doing, like, Evolving Wilds and stuff. I mean, they have so much gas. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Pass the turn. Our plan is just to sit here and let them deck themselves. I guess they can use Turn the Earth. Oh, is this an infinite loop? They get... No, they're supposed to get Dryad's Revival back with that, aren't they? Oh, they can do it the second time. And just gain a bunch of life. Yeah. I think that's an infinite loop. I don't really understand necessarily the point of it, but... Because they can turn the Earth. Oh no, they don't have Dryad's Revival. Huh. Interesting. 4/4 coming in. Do they turn the earth on us? Oh, they just shuffle into our library anyway. This is a weird game. Opponent should just be attacking us. So. We would really like to have, I guess, these removal spells back. I guess. And yeah, I don't know. I do want to play Arrogant Outlaw this turn. And I don't think these are really doing anything for us. So I'm actually going to attack with these and see if my opponent will let some of the damage through. So that we can gain the life off of Arrogant Outlaw. Like, they certainly don't care about their life total, so it makes sense for them to just let them through. And we can gain a bit of life. And we still get to hold Startle up. That's kind of nice. I mean, here's hoping the opponent eventually mills themselves, but it's taking them a while to do it. Let's make sure we don't run out of time on our clock. I realize this isn't the most riveting gameplay, so I don't blame anyone for tuning out here, but I'm going to play this out. I'm not just going to concede because they're, you know, having fun playing with their flashback deck. Sure, draw 3 cards. That's awesome for me. I think I would rather kill the Slogger. Because it has trample. Another, it's probably the same, defend the Celestis. Okay. No, Organ Order's okay. That was a big hit, though. This thing is massive. We need a way to deal with that right away. Okay, Gale Drifter, sure. Does Foul Play do anything? It kills Scalp Wrangler. That's the card we want. Now we're at 11 and they're at 8, so we can draw a card off of this. And now we have a Death Toucher for their 6/6. Probably still gonna have to multi-block here, but that's okay. This is a 5/5. It's pretty rough too. Oh, Grafted Identity is good. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the opponent's still gonna beat us. Oh, and they have Winterhorn Blessing as well. Okay. Yeah, their deck is quite good. It's weird to me that they just didn't attack us when we were down, but they're obviously going off here. So let's go to game 2. That was really, really odd. Our opponent's deck is super powerful. Which is what you would expect, I guess, if you... like, because I think the matchings are based on record. So if we're 3-1, they're probably 3-1, and they have a good deck. We saw most of their deck. Grafted Identity. Again, more reasons to put in the second Geist Wave. They're obviously a graveyard-based deck, so maybe if we had graveyard hate, we would put it in. We don't have a graveyard hate, so I don't think there's really anything else for us. Tome? Is Tome any good against them? They're kind of like a longer setup kind of deck. So if we can draw a couple extra cards or tap some stuff down to attack with, that could be okay. I don't think Arrogant Outlaw is very good against them. What were their defenses like? The 1/4, 3/6. Yeah, Outlaw's probably not great against them. Maybe I'll bring in Tome. I don't know. Maybe, well, I mean, maybe we're just supposed to play faster. I don't think we beat them in the long game, so that might be a reason to keep the Outlaw in and try to beat them down. That's unfortunate, but we're not going to keep this. This hand's okay. I would rather have a 2-drop creature, but we play with what we can. And we could probably kill Sprout this turn. Well, I'll play this 2-drop instead. I would have killed the Sprout if I hadn't drawn the Foul Play, just because they have so many cards that they can get value off of milling themselves, so. Okay, well that's actually a little bit lucky there. Might as well attack? What are we playing this turn? Hobbling Zombie? Or No Way Out? It feels bad to make them discard because they play so well from their graveyard, but okay. So a couple expensive cards, so maybe they're short on lands. Slogger, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, well that's nice, because now we can play Foul Play. We'll have this to block this later. So Foul Play first, and we can draw a card off of it. Oh, no hits off tapping. But they do get the Slogger counters. So same thing, they're going to be beating us down here. I don't mind actually trading off this. Geist Wave is nice against Slogger as well. So I think we play Hobbling Zombie and hold up these 2 spells. And we're going to be blocking the Slogger, trying to kill it. They draw a bunch of lands. Oh, that card is very good, this Slogger card. And now they won't be mana screwed and they can play their more expensive stuff. I might just use Startle right now. Just to draw the extra card here. Okay, well, Abomination's pretty nice. Oh, Devious Cover-Up? Okay. I don't think there's a way to play around Devious Cover-Up. Like, it did seem like they had something like that because they discarded all those powerful cards, but... And we'll save the Geist Wave because they do have the Defend the Celestis. Yeah, we didn't quite get out to the fast start we wanted here. And now they're going to set up, and they're going to be able to pull stuff out of their graveyard as well, like this Counterspell or something. So we're going to have a tough time beating this opponent if we don't draw some good action. Maybe that's enough of a reason to play Geist Wave while they don't really have anything. Because I don't want to keep drawing lands here. I mean, this is 10 damage. Like, having some kind of threat would be nice. They want to flip this. Okay, well, Organ Hoarder's good. I'll play my land just in case they have flipped the switch. We need something here. 3/3, I guess? No, we can't play it this turn. Okay. Well, I was going to attack with everything, but now that we have Larder Zombie, I don't want to attack with everything. I guess I could have played Stormrider Spirit there to flip this back to a 1/4. But if they want to keep attacking with it, that's kind of okay. Sure. Oh, man. I guess this does tap their thing. Well, it's kind of a losing proposition, right? Okay, not bad. We're gonna have 1, 2. We want a third token back. Try and get in for some damage. Now they're at 6. If we can land this Covetous Castaway, they tap one thing down and we chump block with the other, and we can crack back and kill them. Oh, this is a 1/4 now, or 2/5 rather. It's not bad. Okay, 4/5. I mean, this 3/3 flyers, well, I mean, they can block it, but we're going to be able to tap their thing, so. See what we can draw here. Hermit. We'll put that into the graveyard, because the 2/1 in play doesn't matter, and we can play it as a flyer anyway. And we get another thing. Awesome. Well, let's start by doing this. This deals 3. This gets blocked. Yeah, I think we just swing with everything here. Gain a bit of life? Okay, that makes sense. Wow, okay, well, we did it. Tome actually ended up being really good there because we could tap their reach creature. So I'm actually happy to keep Tome in this deck. It's a very back and forth, slow, grindy games. So I'm happy to do that. I wonder if unbleaking it. Oh, sorry, not that one. Component Collector would actually be good. For the same reason, you just kind of get incidental tap effects. And then you can swing in past their blockers. I mean, a 1/4 blocks this Wing Shredder. A 1/4 blocks the Slogurk Slimes. Maybe we just set up for a much longer game, especially if we're on the draw. Maybe the Shady Traveler comes out for one of these 1/4s. Really interesting game. I have to remember their Defend the Celestis, Dissipate, Fading Hope. This isn't great, but hopefully we can play Foul Play and draw a land off of it. So I'm going to keep it. And then if we draw a land, we have No Way Out, Midnight Ambush. Like, we hope they play a 2-drop creature here that we can kill. Yeah, awesome. That's a great target for Foul Play, actually. And we drew our island. That's great. It's a nice exchange. And next turn, I assume we just play No Way Out. Try and target their hand a bit. We could start the day-night cycle so Olivia's gets better. Next turn, we're playing Organ Hoarder for sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe we just attack their hand, right? Get them to discard lands. Or spells, or both. Nice, 2 lands is good. For another land. And nothing from them is pretty good for us. They could have a counter spell here, but I'm still just going to play my 3/2. Nice. Draw a card. The 3/3 flyer might actually be really good for us this game. And we can play it next turn. I think Hobbling Zombie is really good in our deck against them because they have the ability to put 1/1 counters on stuff, but I just want to try and deal damage before they kill us, or get set up, but it looks like they're kind of on the aggro plan because they're out of cards as well, so I assume they just replay this next turn and smash for 4. This just kills this. Let's just do that. Let's just kill it right now. It's their only creature in play. And then let's put as much pressure out as we can. I will attack here. We're going to try and beat them down before they can get set up, so I want to deal a little bit of damage while I can. There's the Bird Admirer. Olivia's is going to be nice against that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't mind playing Component Collector here because we'll get free tap triggers to tap this and attack with everything. Let's start by attacking, though. I mean, let's just do it while we can, right? This card looking less good in this matchup because we were trying to be aggressive, but we didn't know that going into it, and we are going to be able to tap down their blockers some amount of the time, so opponent just trying to get as much defense as they can. And I think I just want to hold up Stormrider Spirit here. Attack with the flyer. They're going to get to replay Winterhorn Blessing here. Oh, that's a big one. 4/5. Oh, it's a 6/6 right now. Wow. But we're just going to try and beat them down with flyers before they can beat us down with ground creatures. Bit of a race situation. We have a 3-turn win. They're going to get to play Winterhorn Blessing. They'll probably tap down the Stormrider Spirit, and we can't block particularly well, so we definitely need to draw something. We've drawn all lands, which is not good. Do you think they have Defend the Celestis? If they make this a 7/7, we don't really want to double block, but otherwise we're taking 13. There isn't really a good option here. We could just take it. We get blown out by Defend the Celestis. I'd rather have my resources in play. I don't know if this is the right play, but I don't want to double block and then lose these and then have nothing to block with next turn. And if we can get the trigger, that's okay, perfect. Geist Wave is awesome here. Combat, attack for 5. Now we can make the double block on... Actually, I'm not sure what we're going to do. But we'll just end the turn there. We could Geist Wave Organ Hoarder. Draw a card, replay Organ Hoarder, draw a card. We might end up doing that anyway. I think we'll probably set up a chump block. And then bounce our Organ Hoarder. Okay, they did have the Defend the Celestis. Well, let's see if they go for it here. If they play Winterthorn Blessing, we just lose. Maybe we were supposed to attack with everything last turn. I didn't even think of that. We could have attacked with Organ Hoarder. Well, not into the 6/6 though. We smashed with everything. We're at 5. So close. Kind of need something here, right? We have to draw a card. Because if we just bounce one thing, we can't win. Bait Hook Angler, yeah. Okay. Well, opponent got us. But hey, that was an interesting game, and I think that one really highlights how you have to switch your tactics. Like the opponent didn't have a great hand, and we played No Way Out early to make them discard. But we also didn't really develop our board, so they switched from this sort of flashback long game to playing Winterthorn Blessing and trying to beat us down. And they did get in for a significant amount of damage with Scab Wrangler, like 3 or something. And then there was a big attack there. So I wonder, were we supposed to attack last turn? When we had the Organ Hoarder still, were we supposed to bounce their 6/6 attack with everything? No, they still had Defend the Celestis. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do there. But anyway. Hey, what's up, Carson? Yeah, really, really interesting match there. Not sure. Yeah, not sure if we played perfectly. I'll definitely go back and rewatch part of those games to see if there's something else I could have done. But it was super fun anyway, and our deck was fun. We had a good deck. We came up against 3 blue-green decks that were all really good, and I think maybe not a great matchup for us, but happy to get the 3-2. And hey, like I said, the event kind of paid for itself in a way because we get 2 player draft tokens back, so that's enough to draft twice, and that was basically what our entry fee was. So yeah, pretty happy with how that turned out. Just for anyone that wanted to see again, this is what the deck looked like. It was pretty good. We were a little weak in some spots. I thought the Shady Traveler and the Stormrider Spirit were a little bit weak. Other than that, pretty happy with the deck. Yeah, 2 Organ Hoarders, super fun, decent removal when we needed it. We ended up bringing in that second Geist Wave against our matchups. That's just how it goes sometimes. And yeah, we get some prizes from it. Get to crack some packs. Look for gems, essentially. Just trying to fill out the set here. And yeah, super fun. So if you have an opportunity to play the draft challenge this weekend, I highly encourage you to do that. And until next time, this has been the Daily Travesty. Thanks so much for watching.